welcome back to our Warp World. You know who the two greatest hosts are in the world. It's Mark and
Are you
Andrea.
talking about us?
Yeah, we are. We actually had fan mail. I forgot to mention. So
Oh
we
my
got our first fan mail. Before we get into anything, we've got Mike from San Diego sent us. Well, it was a little weird at first. So the first fan mail said, I really like your show. I really enjoy it. Did you ever think about doing a show about nudists? And I was like, okay. So he goes, I'm in a nudist colony, blah, blah, blah. I'd love to be on your show. And I didn't answer him back. So I didn't answer him back.
Then he showed you his dick.
He did. I got the dick pic with it. I was like, okay, this is good. All right.
You mean
that's all I got to do? That's all I got to do? You kidding me?
I'll interview him.
I figure that's all. I know you. I know that penis anywhere. So, but so it was a different kind of fun.
That's awesome.
Thank
you, Mike. We love you, Mike from San Diego.
Yes, and then we got another one from Indiana. Indiana was, what did he say? I enjoy your show very much. More of bunny hopping.
Yeah.
Yeah. For you who didn't listen last week, bunny hopping was our.
I love that you had asked about the shoes.
Yes. That started off. We had to have 2 episodes on that.
I know. I listened to both of them.
But anyway, she got requests and. Thank you. And the third request was just enjoy, keep up. So, I don't know. And there was nothing unknown, whatever. So, that was cool. So, anyways, we got 3 fan mail.
Oh, my God.
I know. Come on. Listen.
I love us.
Yeah. We are.
We're awesome.
We're going places.
Going places straight to the top, baby.
So, anyways, any fun stuff going on with you this week?
Yeah. My boyfriend PJ is amazing. He painted our dining room, so
Whoa,
that's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Good job.
We planned our trip to Maine because my nephew graduates high school, and it's actually pretty awesome. I'm really proud of him. He's been through a lot. So, and then we are going to San Diego with the boys in July. So
nice. All right. So you got shit going on. All right. Let's give it over to Charles, everybody. Charles is here today. Charles, how are you? Charles. Charles, if you don't remember, is our fraud specialist. Came on. Go back, have a listen. We learned everything about fraud that day. It was very interesting.
Call him at
fraud.
Call me at fraud.
555 fraud.
So we're happy to have you back. It's gonna be fun. Thank you for coming.
Hey, thanks.
Appreciate it. Of course, we have Sam here tonight. Sam.
You ruined my entrance, though.
I did. I ruined it. But now you're here,
I'm here.
you're what?
It's not as fun though.
How the hell have you been? What's going on?
I'm good. Boring. Same old.
No Mexico trips. No nothing to talk about.
Next weekend.
All right, cool. So that's it. And the reason we are, I forgot about Dave. He's that's what his wife always does.
All right, so yeah.
Dave,
don't you know?
Dave, everybody knows Dave. Sorry, wrong one. Sorry.
Hey, all good here. Hey, we got through Memorial Day weekend. One of the best things in Phoenix here is it's pool season now. So we're all jumping in the pools and life is good.
You might find me floating in your backyard because I don't have a pool.
As long as it's not face down.
Nope.
Okay, that'd be too much paperwork.
Even when I die, I'll still.
That's why we have Sam sign the waiver.
The reason we're here, so we can't touch ground. We have Logan here tonight. Logan, we are going to get into your story into the next segment and everything about your sobriety and all that stuff. But how do we know each other? Tell us about Logan.
Oh man,
who is Logan?
I was born at a very young age.
I was born a black sharecropper.
That's awesome.
No, years ago, I was working at a vitamin manufacturing company, and I met a couple friends there, Tabitha and Russ. Became friends with them, and I think we were out somewhere for maybe it was my birthday or someone's birthday. I don't know. And then Sam showed up, and
it was Halloween.
Was it?
Yeah, we were walking with my niece and nephew.
Yeah, I was like,
Logan, and Tab was Logan. I was like, no, that's my Logan. She's like, no, that's my Logan.
Yeah,
because I know you from poker.
Yeah, we used to play poker, in the bar poker league or whatever. So I thought that was really strange how that kind of worked out. And then Juan worked at the same company, and then I think they already knew you, and I just kind of met you one night at a party or something like that, and then, and of course, all your really awesome Christmas parties happen here every year.
Not that we've talked about them at all on the air at all. We've talked about a few of them.
Well, I heard you used to have epic parties.
If you would have came to any of the last,
I was never invited to any of them.
I didn't know you beforehand, but the Christmas party.
My sister wasn't going to invite me.
These new ones aren't as epic.
No,
they are fun.
They are still fun. They're not as epic. You're right, but
I remember that one year you had You had blackjack dealers here, and
Yeah.
like poker dealers, and the
Yeah.
taco truck, and the bar truck, and all that.
We
And
still
the
do
midget,
that, man.
Mrs.
Per
Claus.
the city of Gilbert, we're not allowed to
that's
talk
right.
about that
Did
anymore.
she play at the little?
She
was a little person.
That's
She
right.
played Miss Jingles.
Oh,
the elf.
okay.
Oh,
So
she wasn't Mrs.
before
Claus?
we get into the segment, that is a perfect freaking segue. Dude.
Yes.
Okay, so I didn't want to forget that. It's great. So so for people that don't know, I umpire. I
What?
umpire slow pitch softball. I do. I'm like I'm
He's
good. You know,
he's
I'm
like
a jack of all
neighborhood
trades.
Pillar.
But anyways, I came across the first thing ever in my 30 years of playing or umping softball. There was a midget, a little person, freaking swinging the bat. He played.
Oh my
Now he
gosh.
didn't play in the field, but he batted, and you just wanted to hug
He
him.
didn't play in the field.
He didn't play in the field.
What position
Oh,
did he play?
He did catch.
He didn't
I think
play
a couple
shortstop?
innings. No.
Hey.
I think.
I went
Did you
there.
get that? So yeah, you missed that one. There
Did
we
he
go.
get-
There you go.
did
So
he
you got
use
that,
like
but that was
did
pretty
he
good.
use the mini bat that you got at the
Yeah,
baseball game?
yes, it was a wiffle ball bat. We were throwing things at him.
Did he get
but
to use
no,
a real ball?
like he was so cute. You wanted to just hug him, and then when he freaking got a hit, his little legs were just so cute. They were chugging along, and they were going, and it was
Chugging along.
It
It's a thing for midgets.
I think so. I wanted to put the little guy on my back and say, "Swing away, buddy. Aim for the fences."
You have a lot of midget stories.
You're
though.
going. Yeah, they're fun. Midget
Yeah,
stories are
yeah.
fun.
The Ken Bachelor party will be for another
But yeah,
episode.
but it's
Exactly,
not for tonight,
right?
But yeah, but
Oh, Miss
but
Stephanie,
okay, so we're
holy
gonna
cow.
go into okay, Dave. We're going into a whole nother
I've
thing.
only
here.
heard
But I had to tell them it because it's little person. Sorry, I can't say. But what we're going to name the episode "Little
They're
People."
great.
They're great.
Little people.
They're great. We're gonna. It's gonna be fun. Little people are great. I love you guys. Anyway, so what I wanted to talk about in our first segment.
Sponsored by TLC's Little People, Little World.
That's true. You get that. That'd be true. That'd be perfect.
If you like what you hear, there's going to be a link below. Please
Look, they
click.
love us so much they're setting off fireworks.
Oh, my
this
gosh.
This is how good and well received our warp world is in this
Oh,
city.
my
They love us
gosh.
and respect us. But what I wanted to talk about, so I have a dumb friend. He's almost 60
Just
years
one?
old. 50. Well, there's 6 of them sitting here tonight. Okay.
Hey. Well, I'm not your friend, so.
anyway.
Ta-da!
So, anyways, he left his Facebook page open, and he was and I guess his wife saw it and was not thrilled with it. She got really mad at him and got all upset, accusing him of, and apparently she found out that there was like 6 or 7 girls on his Facebook page that he slept with, and he just admitted it now. They've been married, I don't know, 28 years, something like that. They've been married 28 years, and and he just found out. So I guess what I wanted to talk about was, do we all have people on our social media that we've slept with that we keep in contact with? And Miss Andrea, who have you banged that you're still friends with?
She bangs.
She bangs. Well, my ex-boyfriend Kyle, who was like my high school sweetheart, who like was my first.
Are you still in love with him?
No. We're still friends. Like, he lives in New Hampshire, so he lives really far away. But yeah, like, we are on good terms. Like, no hard feelings there. And then I have like some other people on there.
Okay, so how many would you say total that you have on your social media that you have banged, had sex with?
I'd say at least 5.
All right, 5's a good number. I would say it's a pretty good number. Now we're moving on to Charles, who has been married for 139 years. He's been
And
married that
counting.
long. It is, and counting. Which I guess I don't know. But you're on what, 32?
32.
Dear Lord. So when you
Cheaper to keep her.
When you had sex before your wife, back when fire was invented, I mean, how did that go? So what do you have on your
So I had to attract the women by dancing around a campfire.
trying for rain?
Yes.
He actually
And then I had
invented baby
to
oil.
take my club and beat him over the head and drag him into the cave.
It's the first like date rape.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
It was legal back then.
Well, just nobody knew.
He
or
did nothing
remembered.
wrong. The court of caveman made him not in trouble for anything.
Yeah, that was long before Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
All right, so
I
you-
was also the chief, so.
So we're going to let you
He had a
define
forest, not an island.
banging a little differently because you've been with your girl for a long, long time, blah,
Yes.
blah, blah. So we're going to define
Blah,
a little
blah, blah.
banging different with you.
Okay.
There was bodies touching, you're feeling boobs, what is it?
So,
How about a hand job?
So touchy-feely stuff.
Yes.
Okay, and how
Okay.
many are on your
I'd say Yeah.
At least 5.
No, it's like 3 or 4. It's 3 or 4.
Does the wife know?
Yes, she knows all.
That was too fast.
No, she knows who my prior girlfriends and
Yes. Healthy relationships.
bang things were.
Mr. I've been
Oh,
married
come on.
3 times.
Yes.
You know, I love it. This is.
You
This-
care.
this
You
is
are
what I
honest with
think.
each other.
All right, Sam, you're here. I'll be curious to hear what you say. I think I go one of 2 ways on this. I can see
Which
you
way do you think I'm gonna go?
letting everybody or nobody.
What do you think? I'm like a whore?
No. Well,
You were born with boobs.
no,
So.
you were born with boobs.
Yeah, I was.
Seriously, the doctor pulled you out by him. Is what
I
when
know.
you were done.
Definitely gonna have to get that
You
fixed
had
at
boobs
some
when
point in
you
my
were.
life.
You had nipples at 1 hour old.
Everybody has nipples.
Everyone
freaking
born
out.
anything with
Nipples.
nipples.
Yeah, your nipples were hard at 1
I have
hour year
nipples.
old.
Can you
Whatever.
milk
There.
me?
So, anyways, let's. That's that. How many are in your social media?
Oh, I thought you were
Probably
going to ask
like
how many
2.
nipples.
I mean, like I've got my high school sweetheart, and
That seems to be a common thing with the high
No,
with chicks.
well, I don't even. Yeah, I mean, I.
Well, it's like you were
Don't
so
even look-
young, and as long as
it's
they weren't like,
sweet.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually love.
yeah, it's just like, hey,
Dear
thanks
God.
for.
Wait, can I? Do,
Until it's not.
Yeah.
dear God. Okay, we didn't want to. Oh, so 4,
No,
2.
no, because usually when I go out with a bang, and I'm done with it.
All right, you don't.
I just leave them behind.
She takes the trash out, is what she said.
Well, I think so. That's how it is. All right, Dave. What's your count?
My count, other than my wife,
Now you call it carnage. How many?
no, I did.
I
I did. We
You
were talking.
called it
We
carnage.
were talking about it earlier, so when we were talking full carnal knowledge, because maybe I came up with this idea. 5 outside of my wife,
All right,
but all of them,
We're consensual.
You didn't have to beat over the head.
well, the first 2 were. The first 2 were in the Charles Darwin era over there, where I could really get away with a lot more stuff. But all 5 of them were before my wife. So,
No, I would hope
Well, that's
so.
good.
Hey, what are we supposed to do? Hey,
so,
way to go! Hey, you're
She-
doing a great job.
so I've been with the wife for 14 years, including our marriage. So, if she wants to question me about them, I will tell her about every single one. She probably won't She probably won't listen to this episode anyway. So,
Are
who
they
knows?
are they going to be quick stories?
Oh.
Oh, did it?
Shots fired.
All right, so now why we're here, Logan.
Yep.
You don't have social media. You told me before
I
we
do
started this
not.
podcast.
Do
So,
not.
are any on your phone? Are any that you still talk to? Any that you? I don't want to say think about because obviously we all think about.
You know,
I mean,
any in the attic right now? I mean,
yeah, anything you gotta.
Buried in the backyard.
No, none in the attic or the backyard.
Yeah. No.
And really, the only one that I really still talk to is my son's mom. That's really it. And I don't even talk to her all that much. Our son's grown now, so I usually only hear from her if like I get the phone call and your son did this, you know, and it's usually something
Awesome.
bad when it's my son.
Yeah.
I do that to my dad. I go, your wife.
You're-
I can't say that to
I
my
literally
dad.
no, hell no. You can't say that.
Well,
You're
yeah.
a squatter.
So let's say now we're all older here. We're either millennials or Xers or whatever. So, anyways, 10-year ago, Andrea. 10-year ago, Andrea, 21-year-old Andrea, dating somebody, and this is what you find out. You're looking. They had Facebook 10 years ago. I know they didn't. But
Oh,
you know what I'm saying.
yeah.
It was MySpace.
Yeah, it was MySpace. That's right.
I was about all of it. I loved it
I
all.
loved MySpace.
MySpace.
They need to bring it back.
with the
They-
pick your own background.
Yeah,
and
and
the
you could do
music.
songs.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, okay. MySpace,
Way
give us a
better.
call.
Justin Timberlake. I know you're
We're looking for
listening.
sponsors. Okay. Anyways, 10-year ago, Andy.
Okay.
10-year ago, you would not react the same way as you're reacting right that it's okay. I love my boy. I
I'm gonna be
trust.
honest
I
with
want
you.
10-year ago youngin.
I'm gonna let you know I would because Kyle, my first, he got around before he was with me and a little bit after when he was during with me. Anyway, so
Nice.
so he was still friends with a lot of them that he went to high school with, the girls that he like slept with because I grew up in a small town, so it's kind of like you had to be okay with it because it was around you. Like, it's not like, where you go to high schools where you don't even know everybody you go to high school with. You don't even know everyone in your graduating class.
That's an interesting point.
Did you grow up in a John Cougar Mellencamp song?
That's right.
I did.
They shouldn't even know who John
How
Cougar
big was
Mellencamp
the town you grew up in?
Sorry, 80s.
The town I grew up in, I think, has like 2,000 people in it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Ooh-wee.
it's pretty
Mine was
small.
less than 500.
Dang.
My graduating class was like 1,100, and my school was like 5,200.
My-
Ours was 2,200
my-
in Peoria.
Wow.
My school had 800 kids in it, and I knew pretty much everybody.
14 graduated.
Although the city I grew up in just hit
219 are
40,000.
pregnant.
Oh my
Well,
God.
here's the thing.
I
When
mean, it was
I
a nice
was
like 30-minute graduation ceremony.
when I was in high school, my senior year, there were 2 freshmen that were pregnant.
Oh no, they made them leave our school. They weren't allowed in.
Oh no.
They actually like.
You went to
just
the Prude
disappeared.
school.
Huh?
You went to Prude High.
Well, they're from like
Anybody?
the suburbs of Chicago, but it's not really.
And
But
they
yeah.
didn't let him in. What
And
did
it was
you do?
public
To a
school.
convent?
They just were gone all of a sudden.
Jeez, we were
There was
welcomed
a-
in.
There was a daycare at my high school.
Yeah,
for,
same with
for
mine.
students with babies.
And the
Yeah.
guys that couldn't get dates hung out with them.
Really?
So
They're like,
There
she
was a
puts out.
daycare at your high
Yeah.
school?
Yeah, 100%. There was
we had a child
daycare.
care at our high school.
Logan,
too.
I have never
We
heard
had
of
child
that
care,
before.
but it was home
I've
ec
never heard
class.
of that.
No, ours was a
Like,
child.
it was a
child care. It was a
full-on,
full-in
like-
child care.
Yeah,
So did
but-
ours.
There was a building
Logan, where was this?
in Bakersfield, California.
Oh, that makes sense.
88
right.
Peoria.
Right.
Been there. I
Good
get
old
it.
Bakersfield.
Bakersfield.
Yeah, there's a full-on building and like a little playground outside, and like the moms could go to class and they're
Chain
drop
smoke
their
menthol
I mean-
cigarettes. And
drop their
I mean-
babies off.
drop their Marlboros.
I mean,
Pick
right.
up their hooch and go home and get
Yeah.
their,
Well,
get their
shit.
check.
That's the whole deal here. It's like
I'll pick them up at 4.
it's like Mark and Charles or Dave are a little bit older here. We were just amazed that we still had smoking lounges when we went to high
No,
school.
it was pretty cool.
But I have never heard about a mama's lounge.
Yeah.
I have not either.
We in my town, they had a school called the Good Samaritan, and all the pregnant moms
You
that
didn't
wanted
go.
I did not go. I don't have any kids.
No, that's true.
So
That you know
that's
of.
true.
that I know of.
I say that all the time. I'm always like, if I get pregnant, I'll be like, it's not mine.
It's not-
But like it was called Good Samaritan, and all the pregnant moms could go there, and they would have free child care, so they could finish their high school diploma.
That's good.
It was actually
Yeah.
pretty cool. That
And
was
then they could stay home after they get deployed and get their checks.
no,
and
they
all that
actually
stuff.
they have a lot of really good programs where I'm from to help like single
They
moms
should.
and teenage moms
Well, you
like
would hope
Yeah.
so.
go up through. I think it's pretty cool.
I just
I-
bought a T-shirt that says "All sugar, no daddy."
Nice. All right. That's pretty good. So
I'm
good.
both.
Well, we're but so younger anybody
That
out
actually
there?
sounds like a cocaine reference.
I didn't think about that, but that's interesting.
What
I
about-
thought about a sugar daddy like money.
Holy cow.
Holy
Obviously,
cow!
right
So
now
what
I
would you,
can't.
younger Sam?
Oh, I was a hothead. I literally have slammed my phone on the concrete and it bounced back up in my hand, and I got pissed that I caught it and I threw it back down, and then I duct taped it back together because I was like, he's gonna call me. Like, yeah, I'm
And
a
this-
psychopath.
Oh my
And this
God!
was Wednesday.
I hate you, Tony. I despise
And this
you.
is the Motorola flip phone that everybody had, like back
Oh
in the day,
my
the silver
God.
one. Yeah.
Oh, the razor.
Is it weird that I'm scared just sitting near
No,
her?
I would be scared too. I
Lori's
should move her
here.
back a little
Lori's
bit.
here, Pepper.
She's got that look in her eyes.
She always has
These
that look.
eyes.
No, those don't. do
Charles,
that.
stay frosty.
No,
Stay
no,
frosty over there.
But anybody, Dave, I can't because younger you. What about younger Logan? Because are you even 40?
Dude, I'm 46.
Dear Lord, you
Yeah.
look too damn good for
I'm
46 years
46.
old.
Oh, thank you. That's
That's
very
just
nice
a
of
bunch
you.
of horse shit. Because you have hair, or you don't even have
Because he's
hair. And
tall.
you're good looking.
I got hair. I got all kinds of hair, dude.
Fucker, I hate them. This podcast is over. Good night, everybody.
It's fine. He's probably not even recording.
Shut up.
Okay, how tall are you?
6'5".
Oh, damn.
Me too.
Damn.
Same.
At least
10 years ago, Logan.
Yeah,
36. I guess.
dude.
Will
You
you
had
let him
36
answer
in
the question?
Can I talk?
Yeah.
Can I talk?
This podcast is over.
Are you recording?
Right. So 36-year-old me, but we'll get into this obviously a little later. I was a maniac because I drank quite a bit, and especially like those last probably 8 or 10 years, man. Like pretty much stayed. I probably pretty much stayed intoxicated as much as I possibly could. And so weird that no relationship ever worked out, you know?
Dun, dun, dun.
We still love you.
Shocker.
Absolutely, we do.
Weird.
But and that's what I mean. So you really can't answer it because you weren't really who you think or who you are now.
No, I definitely was.
All right, and we're definitely going to get. This is a good segue into where we're going. Does anybody need a drink, or should we still keep going, or should I stop?
Keep going.
All right, we're going to
Let's
keep
go.
going. Okay, let's keep going. So
producer
the reason
says
we're
keep going.
here, so Logan, as I've known, and I've known now both sides of Logan. I've known party till I've dropped Logan, and now I have met sobriety Logan several times, and they're great people. Both of them are fantastic people that you would love to hang out with. But Logan, I want some of your story, man.
Okay, man.
Start from the beginning.
Okay.
I was born a poor black child.
That was it. All right. Anyways.
Okay, maybe not.
No, so I mean, growing up, so my parents got divorced when I was in 4th grade, and like before that, we lived in like a nice neighborhood, went to like a nice school and all that. It looked like it was like picture perfect kind of thing. The divorce was real nasty. My poor mom, who hadn't worked since since she was pregnant with me.
And hold on, how old was it when your parents started divorcing or getting? How old were you?
I was in 4th grade.
Okay.
You said 4th grade. That's probably about 9 years old
9
or so.
years old.
Yeah,
okay.
and I'm the oldest of
Twins?
3. So I had
Did I hear that right?
what?
Since she had twins, is that what you said?
No. Since she was pregnant with me,
Okay, I
was
was
the last
like,
time
you're
that
a
she had
twin?
worked,
Okay.
right? So then the divorce happens, and now my poor mom is stuck with 3 little kids. I'm the oldest in 4th grade, right? And then I have a little brother and a little sister. And my poor mom, she just tried her best. But the whole reason for bringing that up is, we like left that good neighborhood, but we still kept going to that like good school or whatever. I don't know how else to say it, but and I guess like around that time, not many people's parents were divorced, at least not at that school, right? And so we were kind of like, well, at least I felt like very out of place, like I was, not part of, anyone, because I was the weird kid that had divorced parents and I was on free lunch and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of started off on just always kind of feeling like different than everyone, right? And not liking like how I feel, right? About me. Like I was definitely not comfortable in my own skin, right?
Now, did you start feeling this way on your own, or did you start when you got older, talk to somebody about it? Or was it these feelings that you were kind of feeling as you were getting older without talking to somebody?
Or did kids know? The kids notice you got free lunch and would make
Oh
comments too.
yeah. I got picked on quite a bit.
Yeah. I was a kid that got free lunch too, so I know what you mean.
Yeah, we got picked on. I mean, I got picked on a lot.
But I guess where was your self-realization? Was it a self-realization, or did somebody? Either way, it's great that you've realized this on part of your life. But was it something you realized on your own?
Well, I don't know. Like I definitely didn't talk to anyone like about any of that stuff, growing up, because I had to be like the strong one, right? I'm the oldest. My little brother and little sister are looking to me, for
He's
answers.
dad now.
Yeah, and my poor mom's like a complete wreck, and so I'm, making dinner and like taking care of my brother and sister and all that. My mom's, just
Working.
emotionally a mess. Yeah, she had to go back to work, and she didn't. It was tough, man. It was really tough. And
If I can jump in a little bit, Logan, it's Dave. My parents divorced when I was 12, split, and I went to a pretty rich high school, actually, for the part of the world I lived in Wisconsin. And I think what I'm hearing here is you felt judged.
Oh yeah, dude, definitely. I was definitely felt like I was being judged, and and then kind of fast forward, I ended up getting into like a lot of trouble. What
were some of the good getting in trouble kid story? And was this while you were drinking or before you started drinking?
This is well before I started drinking. I got in so many fights. Like I don't even know how many fights as a kid. And then it got to the point like I was in 8th grade, and my mom poor thing, just had enough of, me always getting into trouble with like fighting or whatever. And she kind of gave me an ultimatum, that I could like go live with my grandfather, in Oklahoma, or I can go live with my dad. And I kind of was like, fine, I'll go live with dad then. Right. And, and I found out years later that she was totally bluffing. She thought it was going to scare me to like straighten up. And since I said, fine, I'll go live with dad, she felt like she was stuck and just had to let me leave. And my grandfather had convinced her that it's okay, just let him go. Like, he'll come back. He won't last with his dad. And unfortunately, my dad lived in my hometown, so I wanted to go back there. And that's really pretty much the reason why I stayed, because my dad was definitely an alcoholic, and later on got into like drugs and all that. And and so growing up with him was really, it was tough because he was real violent, man, and real like abusive, like emotionally and like verbally, and then physically, there's a lot of violence in our house. My brother ended up coming with us too. So it was my brother and me and my dad. And I remember like getting to high school, and again, like still just feeling like, I'm not part of like anything. And then going into high school, I had just like moved in with my dad. I finished my 8th grade year there, back in Bakersfield. And we went to Pismo Beach in the summer, and I was hanging out with some of like the varsity football players at the school that I was about to go to, and I'm going to play football. So, and my dad was with us, and my dad and some of these guys' dad, they were friends in high school. They played football at the same school that I went to and all that. So they took off, went to the bar, and I'm hanging out with all these older kids, and they're like, here, man, have a beer, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, like my dad's going to get mad. And like, your dad's wasted. He won't even know, and that kind of just, I guess kind of got me started. I started drinking, and like, I was cool now, right? Like, I'm part of these guys think I'm cool because I'm drinking beers with them. I'm hanging out with these older kids and like all that. So, so basically like my whole like drinking career basically started, in high school. And it, like alcohol, like literally like did for me what I couldn't do for myself, right? It made me more outgoing. It made me like, able to talk to girls with no problem. Like, I wasn't scared to talk to girls. Like, I wasn't scared to like be wild. Like I was like the wild guy, that would like do anything kind of thing at parties and all that. And again, fighting, like there was a lot of fighting, still at that time.
Did any teacher or adult figure reach out and think there was an issue?
No, that didn't happen. I did one time go. There was an incident before school that my dad got violent with me and my brother, and I had finally like had enough. I was like, I'm gonna go like tell someone today. So I got to school and I went and told someone. I told this counselor who knew about about our situation, and she told me I needed to go talk to like the police officer on campus, right? And so I went and I told him like what happened. And it turns out that guy's brother was a chief of police who's like friends with my dad. And so I told him the story. He had me and my brother sit outside of his office, and he shut the door. And then we're sitting out there for a while. And then when we came back in, there's 2 sheriff officers in the office, and my brother and I got arrested for assault and battery. And I was like, what? Did you not just hear what I told you? Like, we didn't do anything. Like, he freaking hit me with like this wood stool and then like tried to fight my brother. It was wild, man. So that's kind of like how like I grew up. So like, so yeah.
How long were you with your dad?
Until I was 16, and then he kicked us out, my brother and I.
So about 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah, and he kicked us out.
Like prime years, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when you're absolutely.
Why did he kick you out? Just
because he was just, he was a drunk man, and he always called us names and all that kind of stuff, and he told us to get out of his house. We were lazy or whatever, and this was Christmas Day, mind you, when he kicked us out. So that was pretty neat.
That was pretty neat.
Wow. Thanks, Dad. Love you too.
Yeah.
What a Christmas vacation that would be.
Right. So from there, like my brother and I kind of we were just bouncing around. Like luckily my brother, he was dating a girl in high school at that time.
You guys didn't go back to your mom's?
No, she lived at that time. They were living in Oregon, and we wanted to stay in Bakersfield because that's where we're from, and that's where all our friends are, right?
And how bad was the drinking getting then? So at 16, 17 years old when you got...
at that time it was still just kind of mostly just on the weekends, right?
So you haven't turned into somebody that you're everyday drinking?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. And then, so fast forward to my 20s, and I'm living here in Arizona, and man, it's like a whole new world out here, right? Like nobody knows me, and like no one has been like mean to me or knows anything crazy shit that I've done. So like I make all these new friends, and I started working at TGI Fridays when I was 21, and made this whole group of new friends, and they were party friends, man.
In the industry, absolutely. If you're in the restaurant or bar industry at 21 years old, that's what you're going to do.
Yeah. So we just partied all the time. I mean, literally every night, Monday through Sunday, there was a party somewhere at someone's house or someone's apartment, and I was living in this apartment with 8 people. It was a 2-bedroom apartment, and 8 of us lived there.
Please tell me you had bunk beds.
No, we were just like a fucking flop house. It was crazy. And what's funny is of the 8 people, 7 of us worked at Fridays. So it would be funny when we'd all be getting ready for work, and then we'd always stop because the Edge radio station had 420 mandatory Marley.
They did 104.7 or 101.5.
103.9.
That's it.
103.9. So we would stop. Everyone would stop getting ready. We all like mosey out into the living room, and we'd all just like light up a blunt, light up the bong, light up a pipe, and just keep passing it all around. And then we all finish getting ready, and we go to work. And so, like half the staff for that night would be from our apartment.
Was that your first exposure to marijuana, or
no,
you get into it?
I got
in high school.
Yeah. I got into that in high school too. Yeah.
So to me, that's just a 21-year-old story. So that's what you do in your 20s, and So when did you start realizing, hey, how old were you when you started doing different? I don't want to say rock bottom because that's such a cliche.
Yeah.
But when did you get to a point where you're like, okay, maybe I got to stop a little bit? You didn't.
Yeah, I would say maybe a better way of saying it is, when did you get into patterns that this was becoming a problem?
Yeah.
When did it get dark?
Well, here's the thing. Like, it's easy for me to look back now, and there are plenty of times where there's been red flags like, yo, you need to like take a look at your drinking, man. Maybe you need to slow down, or maybe you need to stop. But the thing is, I never considered that, not even one time. Like, because I've had multiple DUIs.
How many is multiple?
3.
Okay.
I got 3 DUIs. I was 86. Like, so like towards the end of my drinking. I got 86 from pretty much every bar that I ever hung out at. Burned down.
Can I touch on that for a second? Why did you get 86 from most of those bars? I mean, what was your behavior there?
Yeah, what was your behavior when you're
that got you tossed?
Man, I was in such a bad way.
Obnoxious, mean,
all of that, dude. Like,
I mean, you're a big guy. Were you like bullying people, or
not really like bullying people.
Because I mean, I've known you long enough, not as much as some of the rest of you.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
I haven't seen you ever do that, but so I'm just curious.
Yeah, because when there were certain times when I knew I had to like kind of put on a front, right, and put on like a face. Like when I came over here for your Christmas parties, I knew that like, I can't get wild over here. I gotta just like I hang out and like I drank a bunch over here, but like I always knew like when I started getting to that point and I wanted to like start drinking how I really want to drink, I have to leave here because you can't.
You respect him.
Yeah, I can't. Well, not only I don't know if it was respect because I was 100% selfish, that I just was ashamed and didn't want people to know like how I really drink.
Well, you had
know?
some kind of relationship with him
Yeah.
that you
Well,
wanted
yeah.
to protect him from seeing you like that.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, I'm sorry, not trying to redirect in a way, but what was the patterns that you noticed about
Yeah, did you
yourself?
see that I got up, I drank.
That you're like, whoa,
I drank
whoa,
at
whoa.
7:30 in the morning, and then I went to work. And
Oh,
were you drinking at work? Were you doing?
Well, so no, I didn't necessarily drink at work, but I definitely thought about it all the time. Like if I wasn't drinking, I was thinking about it, and I was planning on how I was gonna do it. And like the last job that I had before I got sober, I'd been there like 4 years, and towards the end, like the last like couple of years, man, like I was always like concocting plans or excuses of why I have to like leave early, or I have to be late, or I can't come in, because I mean there's some days that like I would wake up and I knew that if I didn't start drinking immediately, like it was going to be a real fucking bad day for me, like physically sick, right?
Like functionally.
Yeah, like I got to the point where like I wasn't drinking now to have fun. I was drinking to kind of try to feel normal. I would wake up and start having drinks, not because I'm like looking to get drunk. I'm just looking to stop shaking and to stop my head from spinning, and just it was kind of like level me out. And
was there one incident where you said, okay, I'm in trouble here? I mean, I know I don't want to sound like a cliche because I mean, but that's what you hear. You hear
a rock bottom.
Yeah.
No, I certainly, again, like I look back now and there was probably several rock bottoms I could have, gone with.
Now, did you I got to ask this, did you realize you were at rock bottom, or did somebody interject and say, hey, we're done here. You're losing your friends. You're losing your family. You're losing,
Well, that's a good question. So, like I said, there was probably times in the past where I should have like recognized a rock bottom, and I just didn't. Because again, it was never my fault. I blamed everyone else. If you didn't do what you did, I wouldn't have to act the way I did. And oh my God, if I would have left the bar a different way, I wouldn't have got a DUI. Like,
and going back to what you said, you're like, I had a shitty upbringing and blah blah blah.
I don't really want to. I mean, I can't really blame that on my shitty upbringing because I still have my own choices, right? No matter what my upbringing is, it's still ultimately up to me the decisions I make, right? Like, we're ultimately like.
But to be fair, did you realize that at the time?
No, probably not. No, absolutely. I blamed it on like I blamed it on my dad. Like, how dare he like let me come into this world like this? This is I mean, it just runs in my family, and these are the cards I was dealt and all that. And so I'll kind of fast forward to like the bitter end, right? And so from May of 2020 to November of 2020, I got fired from my job.
So it was right during COVID.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, COVID had just started.
It just
started in March, right? So in May, I got fired, and
related to
they were just done with my shit, dude.
No, so it was caused not by COVID. It was caused by your drinking.
It was my drinking, 100%. I mean, like I was calling off. Like I worked a second shift, and I didn't have to be there till 3:30. And I remember calling my boss one time at 10 in the morning because it was one of those days where I knew like I have to drink right now. Like I have to start drinking because I'm not going to make it. Like, because you feel like you're fucking dying inside. Like it feels like you're going to literally die if you don't. Like the only cure I knew to make me feel better is I have to start drinking. Right?
That's a physical thing, not so much a mental thing at that point.
No, I agree with that.
If you're shaking and it's like withdrawal, basically.
100% withdrawal, yeah. And I remember calling my boss at 10 in the morning one time, and I said, man, I just woke up and I'm still drunk from yesterday, and I don't know where my car is. And he's like, dude, you don't have to be till 3:30. It's 10 in the morning. You can't find your car. And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know where my car is. I don't know. I'm drunk still. I don't know. I'll see you tomorrow, kind of thing. And I didn't even get fired for that one, which is weird. But yeah, they were just done with my excuses, So it was May of 2020, I got fired. And then between May of 2020 to November of 2020, I got fired. 3 of my friends killed themselves in alcoholism, and my dad died of alcoholism, all just back to back to back to back to back. And
I'm assuming it got way worse.
100%.
Okay.
I went off the deep end, and when I got fired from my job, I got a severance. So I thought, hooray, like I don't have to have a job anymore. And so I didn't. So I just went out and just like partied, right?
I'm afraid this sounds a little bit like the movie Leaving Las Vegas in a bit.
Yeah, not that depressing. But,
Well,
Did you fill a shopping cart?
minus the hooker. Okay.
yeah, I didn't have any hookers or midgets.
Little people are great.
Hey,
Little
what's
people
wrong
are
with the
great.
midgets?
So you're back. You're now what you're in the depth of the misery is what I'm kind of sensing now.
Yeah, keep going. This is
Well,
Yeah.
okay, quick question.
Yeah.
At that point in time when you were deep in it, what was your poison
Well,
and how much?
so any alcohol of any kind, like I really liked whiskey, and it's funny because, I went through phases of like trying to control my drinking because I think deep down, I always knew that I probably have a problem, but I just didn't want to admit that, right? And I didn't want anyone else to know that, So I would try to control because especially after like something big happened. If something big happened that people were real pissed off at me about, then I'd have to really take it easy for a little bit. Like I'd take it easy, and get everyone back in, get back in everyone's good
Like put
graces.
yourself in a timeout.
Yeah,
kind of adult timeout.
Like I never stopped
Pump the
drinking.
brakes.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
stopped drinking, but I did try to really try to control it. So like I would switch. I'll be like, well, it's shots. Shots are the thing that gets me in trouble. So I'll just drink beer only. I'll just drink beer, and then I got to drink a whole bunch of it, right, to get the effect that I need. And so that wasn't working. And I thought, okay, well, and plus it like makes me like feel like bloated or whatever. So like, well, and,
it's the bloating.
Girlish,
That's it.
girlish figure.
you just feel not about my figure. It just makes you feel,
Don't drink.
feel
It might
gross,
make
right?
you fart, kids.
No, I doesn't like that feeling, So then I thought, well, okay, then I won't do shots, but I can drink whiskey if I just put water in it, right? And I'll just have whiskey and water, and that's cool.
Because
I
you're
can do that.
hydrating.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought.
I
was like, I'm
got
going
it.
to hydrate and still get my whiskey, but all the places that I was going. This is before I was getting 86.
So vodka Gatorade doesn't count.
Right. So I would like these places knew that like I wanted a pint glass and I wanted it almost to the top with Jameson and like a little splash of water. And that was my whiskey and water. And that's how I justified it. Like, I'm still getting hydrated.
Holy
It's like,
smokes, that had to be an expensive drink.
I don't That's a funny thing. Is like, how do I have money for all this nonsense that I was doing?
Severance.
Yeah, well, I did. I had the severance. I did. I blew all that.
Foot picks. That's cool.
And during this time too, I didn't have a place to live anymore. That was kind of a recurring theme also.
That was kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
That was kind of a bummer.
That was kind of a recurring theme
Made
in my
drinking
life.
harder.
Was I didn't really have anywhere to live.
So were you staying in the attic at the bar? I mean,
no.
Yeah. What were you
Did
doing
you-
from
So-
month to month to month?
So
Couch.
my whole during my whole drinking career, right? It was either I was renting a room from someone, or I was couch surfing, or I'd start dating someone and 5 minutes later I move in with her, and shocker, those don't end well. And so I was kind of at the very end. That's kind of where I was at. I was dating this girl who drank just like me, and so we were very toxic. I mean, I think toxic is it's like a huge understatement.
so you were like enablers to each other.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It was pretty bad. Sam knows. Sam remembers. It was pretty bad, and we'd get in fights, and then she'd kick me out because I was at her apartment, and then then one time she called the cops on me after she had hit me in the face. And then I'm walking out, and it's the whole thing, and the cops came and gave me a trespassing charge, and yeah, that was crazy.
So, did you go to rehab?
No.
So my biggest question right now, and I respect you completely because you've been how long have you been clean and sober?
Actually, on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday will be 4 years.
I'm so
That's
proud of
great.
you.
That's
awesome.
awesome. 4 years.
Do the
That's
clap.
fantastic. Yeah, that's a big time.
That's awesome.
And-
So I always wanted to ask this question. So you obviously, without a lot of help, have the willpower to stop.
No,
Okay.
no.
No, but what
No,
made
was-
you just cut back? I'm wondering where.
Okay. Yeah.
Why?
I thought you went to rehab.
No, I'm getting to that.
Yeah,
So, So all that debauchery was happening, and now we're in 2022. That girl that I was talking about, we finally got another huge fight. This time, I left and I didn't have anywhere to go, and I called this guy that used to be a regular at the bar that I used to work at, and asked him for help, and he like said, I can't bring you to my. I was hammered, by the way. I called him. I was hammered, and I was like, dude, I got to get off the street. Like, can you like put me at your house? And he's like, dude, I can't bring you to my house. But he's like, you can sleep on the floor at my office. So he took me to like his freaking place of employment, and I slept on the ground in his office. And the next morning, I got up and I just drove to my mom's house. She just lives just south of Tucson, and I kind of hung out. I kind of hid out there. And this was like the end of April 21, and I was there until. My son was graduating high school in May of 21, and he went to school in Aztec, New Mexico. And so my mom, my stepdad, my brother, and I all flew out there for his graduation. And like that whole week, I don't really remember being there. I was hammered the entire time. Yeah, I vaguely remember being there. And when I got back, I had asked, I'd asked this lady, Miss Pam, rest in peace, Miss Pam. She was 75 years old. She had this little trailer in Mesa, and I knew her from like the karaoke scene because I like to sing. And Miss Pam was real cool, and I said, hey, is it okay if I crash at your house until I get things figured out? And she said, sure, as long as you have to help me around the house. I was like, whatever, like I just needed somewhere to go, right? I knew I didn't want to go back to my mom's house because I can't really drink the way I want to drink there. So I went to Miss Pam's. At this time, like I said, I've been 86 from everywhere except for like one place, and the last day that I drank was June 2nd, 2021, and I woke up in the morning at Miss Pam's, and she had a shit ton of liquor at her house. So I just immediately started drinking. And so I was drinking all day and, doing other things. And then when like later in the evening, she got all dolled up and she wanted to go sing karaoke, and we're going to go, we're going to go to this place and this place and this place. And I said, okay, that's cool. So I went with her. She got us an Uber because she knew I couldn't drive because I've been drinking all day. So the first two places that we went, I didn't really frequent, so I was okay to be there. And again, still drinking the entire time. And I probably started drinking that day at probably about, 8 in the morning. And by the time I get to the third place, it's probably 10 o'clock at night. And then I've been going to this place for a long time. And it's kind of a, like a rougher kind of crowd in there. And so I've been going there for a long time, and I've become friendly with like the owners and the people that work there, and like the regulars and all that kind of stuff. And the owners are a couple; they're a married couple. And so Steve pulls me aside that night, and Steve is like a big biker dude, like all kind of like looks like jailhouse tattoos up and down his arms. He's always got a 45 on his hip, big old goatee and all that. And I've seen him kick people out of that bar before, and he's not real friendly about it. And but Steve's always been kind of nice to me, which I thought was weird. But anyways, he pulls me aside and he says, man, you need to stay away from here for a while, man. And I thought, well, like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, you're scaring people in here. He's like, we're not mad at you. You're not 86, but you're just in a really dark place, man. And you're in here scaring people. And I was like, well, I don't understand what you mean. Because in my head, I'm thinking like, I've been in here like when there's Hell's Angels in here. How the hell am I scaring anyone? Like, yeah. I don't feel like I'm very scary at all.
Sure.
And he starts to tell me like, hey, like you told my wife last week that you're going to kill yourself with your car. And she had just lost some family members to a drunk driver. And he's like, you punched that guy out last week. And he's telling me these things, and like, I don't remember those things at all. I don't remember saying those things. I don't remember doing those things. And so I'm just listening to him, and he says, man, don't go anywhere else tonight, man. Just go home. and obviously I don't have a home. So like, I ended up just, I asked someone that was there, asked them just to take me back to Miss Pam's house. So they did. And there was still a little bit of the bottle that I'd opened that morning still left. So I sat out there and I just freaking, and I just finished out that bottle, and I just thought to myself, like, you know, what now? Like, now I can't even go there. Like, I have no more friends to speak of. Like, nobody wants to hang out with me. You know, I have no job. I have no money. I'm just lost, man. I'm lost. And, you know, and I'm angry, and I'm embarrassed, and I'm ashamed. And I feel super guilty, and I just feel like literally the worst person on the planet. And I remember thinking to myself, if I could just go to sleep and not wake up, wouldn't that be great? Because then I don't have to do this anymore, because this is like real hard. And I'm just tired. You know, I'm just tired. And anyway, spoiler alert, I woke up the next morning.
You ruined the movie. Oh, man, I was just going to Netflix. I was just there.
Yeah, so I woke up the next morning.
Logan story. That was the one I was going to read.
Did you open your eyes and say, "Oh, damn it"?
Yeah, I mean, how did?
No, it was pretty surreal how this next part like unfolds. So, I don't know why, but I just decided to look up Alcoholics Anonymous online. And before I say anything else, I just wanted to just make it clear to the listeners that anything that I say is my own opinion and not the opinion of Alcoholics Anonymous.
So, Mom, you keep out of this, okay?
No, actually, I get that, because some of the opinions of AA is like really flies in the face of other people's beliefs.
Yeah, the whole
religion thing and everything. So,
well, the whole thing about
I get what you're saying.
Well, the whole thing about Alcoholics Anonymous is anonymity, right? So I just want to make it real clear that what I say is my own experience and my own opinions, and not that of Alcoholics Anonymous. So anyways, I woke up and I decided I'm just going to call. Right? I looked it up. I didn't call. And I saw it's called the East Valley Intergroup office. It's at Gilbert and Southern. And so I drove there. I had a car still somehow. Like, I don't know how I still had my car, but I did.
Did you have a license, though?
No, I did not have a
Hey,
license.
good. That deserves an applause. Hey, you got a car. That's good.
And let's give
We got
credit.
yeah.
Let's give
found it.
credit. He knew where it was.
Yeah, I didn't have. So I go to that place, and I'm sitting in the parking lot, and I just remember sitting there, and I'm chain smoking, and I'm thinking to myself, like, man, if I really go in here and like I ask these people for help, and you know, then I'm gonna have to tell like my mom, and I'm gonna have to tell my brother, and I'm gonna have to tell like my son and my son's mom, like, if I do this, like, and I tell these people that no one's ever going to let me drink in front of them again. So like, I need to be like real sure that this is what I want to do. Right. And I, you know, like I said, I sat there for a while, just chain smoking. I thought, like, you know, what else do you have, man? Like I literally was dying inside. Like, I just didn't want to feel like that anymore. And I didn't want to drink anymore. And I didn't know how to do either of those things. And so I don't know what it was. Something pushed me, you know, into that office, and I walked in, and the two like happiest people you ever saw were like, "Hey, good morning, how can I help you?" And I was immediately like,
when they're like, "Come on over, we'll give you a big hug."
Man,
Come on.
Give the cookies, Pam.
Yes.
yeah, I just broke down, man, and I started crying, and they're like, "Here, have a seat, man. Like, this, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Man, I fucked my whole life up. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know what to do," and blah, blah, blah. And so, you know, they called around, and they got this guy who's in the program to come hang out with me, and we went to a coffee, and he let me tell him my sad story, and I cried and all that business, and then we ended up going to a meeting, and at the beginning of the meeting, they asked, like, is there anyone here for the first time, you know, or attending their first meeting anywhere? If so, please give us your name or whatever, so we can become better acquainted. And man, I stood up. I still to this day don't think it was me doing this. Like, I stood up and I said, "I am Logan and I'm an alcoholic." And I just started crying. And like, looking back on it now, I feel like it was just, it was a total relief to say that out loud.
That was your point. That was
I've been fighting it for so long, trying to convince myself and convince others that I'm not an alcoholic. It's not alcohol that's the problem. It's the rest of the world that's so mean.
Always the rest of the world.
And, and I sat there and I don't really remember what was being said at the meeting or anything like that.
I'll bet if there were other members there, they stood up and clapped for you, didn't they?
They did.
That's kind of the way
and
AA works.
And to be honest with you, Logan, if you don't remember anything else of that day, but except that's the story. That's the story right there.
So I was getting to that part. So I don't remember what was being said at the meeting, but I do remember trying to leave the meeting, and these men kind of came up to me and they circled around me, or kind of like half circled around me, and they, we're like, I don't know these men. They don't know me. I've been sitting there for fucking an hour crying in the back. You know what I mean? Not like loudly or anything, but clearly.
No, sure.
Like, and I'm shaking real bad because I hadn't eaten in like weeks, because I don't eat when I drink. Not because I felt like it was going to ruin my buzz, but like, I don't have much money. Like, I'm not going to waste it on food. And, my money's going to booze and drugs. That's what my money went to. Anyway, so these guys come up to me and they say, hey, man, what's going on? And I said, man, I'm tired. I'm tired of being angry all the time. I'm tired of being in pain all the time. I'm tired of hurting people. I'm tired of hurting myself. I'm just fucking tired, man. And they told me, dude, you don't have to feel this way ever again if you don't want to. There is a solution and we can help you. And I don't know, whatever it was, man, like, I was so desperate for literally anything other than what I was doing that I just believed them. And again, I was real shaky, and this man grabs hold of my hand and he says, man, you need to go to an emergency room or a detox center, because you can die from detoxing from alcohol. And I was like, well, I don't know, man. Like, maybe I just like need meetings or whatever. And he's like, dude, your thinking sucks.
Hey, you were in the building though.
Yeah. He's like, your thinking got you in here. And I was like, oh man, and then of course I had more excuses, because that was how I rolled back then. I was like, well, I don't have a job, dude. I don't have money. I don't have insurance. I don't have anything. And he told me, if you go to an emergency room and you tell them that you're an alcoholic and you're detoxing, they can't turn you away.
They're right. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. And so I leave there and I'm like, dude, this is just going in my head. And I'm terrified, because I feel like if I go to an emergency room or I go to a detox center and tell them these things, they're going to look at me immediately and be like, that's a crazy person. We're going to lock him up and throw away the key. Because like, this guy's a danger to society. Because I really thought I was just like the worst person on the whole planet. So I got back to Miss Pam's that day and I ended up calling my mom. God bless her. She's a freaking saint. And I call my mom and I say, Mom, I think I have a problem. And she said, what's that, honey? And I said, I think I have a drinking problem. And she said, yeah, I know, honey. And again, I started crying, and I told her what I had done. And I went to this meeting, and they said I should go to detox and all that. And she was like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of this. Is a big step. You came to this all on your own. Like,
it is.
Like,
it is a huge. It is.
Well, I was just like, and I'm like sitting there like, how could you be proud of me? Like, I let you down.
She's your mom.
Blah. Yeah, my mom is a freaking saint. And shout out, Mom. And so I did. I went into the emergency room just like that guy told me to do. And again, there's so many people in there, man. There's like 1,000 people in the emergency room. So again, like super, like I'm embarrassed, man. I'm ashamed, that this is me. And so again, someone really happy, like, hey, what are we here to see you today? And I was like, I'm an alcoholic and I'm detoxing. And they're like, great, have a seat.
You're number A38.
Yeah, totally. So, but I remember sitting there, man, I'm like crawling out of my skin at this point. Cause at this point it's like 2:30 in the afternoon and I have not had a drop and, or a drug. And
what was the drug of choice? I got to ask.
Like weed and cocaine. Yeah.
How did you get the money for coke?
I didn't really have to have money for coke. I'd always end up I would always like hang out with people who had coke, and then they'd be like, hey, do you want a bump? And I'm like, yeah, of course I do. And
no,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, of course I do. And, Yeah, so I'm like crawling out of my skin sitting there, and that guy from the AA office, he's still with me. Like he's still sitting with it. That dude is a soldier, man. He
Do you
came
still
out.
talk to him today?
I call him every year on my sober birthday.
That's awesome.
So I'll be calling him on Tuesday.
Yay.
Yeah, I'll be calling him on Tuesday. Shout out Jose A.
We should call him on the air.
And to tell him that, man, you didn't waste your time with me. Like, thank you for helping me.
You
know.
would make his night, dude.
Yeah.
You know how proud he would be.
I call him every year on my birthday.
Man.
I call him every year.
That's awesome, man. Good
And,
for
How
you.
did we plan this right around your anniversary?
No,
That's so
I know,
weird,
it's
right?
Perfect. So
that's pretty weird.
So no more. Let's start going to the good parts of the story.
Yeah.
This last 4 years, dude. Tell us where Logan is now, and what you're.
Wait, no,
Oh, okay,
I
hold
want to know. So you're sitting there out of your skin.
Yeah.
Jose A is with you.
Yeah.
Where'd they take you after that?
Oh well, they're gonna.
So they brought me back. They finally brought me back into a room, and I found this out after I'd been in detox for a few days. Because like the first few days in detox, I pretty much just slept. I slept, and I remember them coming to check on me and being like, "Logan, we need to take your blood." And I would just like throw my arm over the bed and be like, you could have literally done anything to me at that point.
Ravage me, please.
No club needed.
Yeah, so when I kind of came to in detox, I'm looking around in a totally obviously unfamiliar place, and I'm like, oh shit, like what have I done?
I really fucked up this time.
Like, what did I do now? Like,
Somebody get me a beer. What the hell's going on?
No, that was.
You're probably thinking I was driving. I killed 3 people.
Oh,
Oh, snap.
No, it was weird because I didn't think any of those things. It was really strange, but I was like curious as to where I was, and I kind of like looked out the room, and I'm like, oh, I know what's going on here. And then they saw that I was awake and had me talk to the doctor. And you know what was really weird is I had this like overwhelming feeling, like I couldn't deny it. It was just like on me. Was that if I go back to those people, I think I'm going to be okay. Meaning the people at the meeting, right? Like if I just go back to those people, I think I'm going to be okay. And so that's it. Like I made my decision. I was like, I have to get out of here. I have to get back to those people. And I told the doctor, like, I need to go. He's like, "Oh, take it easy, man. We're going to keep you for a few more days because you were in real bad shape." Because when I got to the emergency room, he said, "We had a room for you right away when they called us, but you were not stable." Like I checked in there at 2:30 in the afternoon, and they didn't have me stable to transport me to the detox center until 3 a.m. because they were afraid that I was going to like have a seizure or a stroke.
Do you know what your blood alcohol was?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what my blood alcohol was. I don't know. Like I was told that my blood pressure was like through the roof. I was severely dehydrated and malnourished and all the things. And so I was
everything that you can have.
Yeah. So like I knew I was in bad shape, but man, like when he told me that, I was like, that's crazy. Like I was really close. I was really close. It was about to be the end. And so that was crazy. So anyway, he said he needed to keep me for a few more days. I said, okay. They let me out, and I went and got my car, and I went back to that same meeting, and I walked in, and it was crazy because like people remembered me, and they're like, "Hey man, like welcome back. You came back." And I was like, "Yeah, I went to detox like you said. Now what, dude? Someone help me." Like,
now, well, where do I go?
What
from
am I
here,
supposed
man?
to do?
I went step A. Now the hell is step B?
Yeah. So, man, and it's been such an amazing journey. And like I said, I was so willing and so desperate to do something other than what I was doing. And these people told me that they were just like me, and listening to them share their own experience and their own stories, and me relating to like everything that they're saying, I'm like, holy crap, like there are people that think like me and have done the things that I've done, and sometimes even worse than things I've done. And these people are leading like amazing lives, and they're happy, and the thought of drinking doesn't cross their mind anymore. And so I wanted that, and so whatever you guys did, I'll do that too. Like they're promising me that if I do what they did, then I will also, be able to experience this type of life. And so I was all in from
was that the first time you kind of felt a male role model too? with these gentlemen, or somebody you can look up to that had stories that could help you get to where you wanted to be?
Dude,
Like a positive, yeah.
Dude, that's an interesting question. I guess I never thought about it like that, but I guess you're probably right, man, because I did look up to these men.
Because you never had it as a kid.
Yeah, I never really did. And like, so yeah, these men that have gone through the same shit that I've gone through, and I'm looking at them and they're telling me their stories, and they're, 28 years sober and they're 30 years sober, and all this, like, giving me hope, like this is possible. Like, these guys have done the same things that I've done, sometimes even worse, and look at them. Like, they have these amazing lives. They're happy, they're healthy, they have amazing lives. And
That's
so, like,
awesome.
Yeah, that's that.
What did you think when you first walked into that meeting and said, "Hi, I'm Logan, an alcoholic," that you'd be living the life you're living now?
No, not even close.
And I want to hear what your life is living now. This is where I want to go now. The happy time. Now,
yeah, happy times.
Now we're
Yeah.
talking about happy times.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Like, that whole first year of sobriety was amazing, right? Because,
Are you like running outside going, the air smells better. The flowers
literally
are better,
everything was better. Everything seemed better. Like, things were, sunsets were beautiful. Like, trees were beautiful. Like, the sky was beautiful. Like, food is delicious.
You're just going through a realization that
and
you hadn't seen in a long time.
And it was a really, like, I think it was a really, like, huge, like, year of growth for me, of becoming, like, of learning like who I even am. Like, I don't even know what I even like anymore. Like, I've been so, diluted with alcohol and drugs for the past 21 years that, like, well, what do I even like, And I remember, like, I was pretty early. I think I was like maybe a month or two sober, and I woke up and it was like 4:30 in the morning, and I was full of energy, and I was like, I felt great, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm getting the day started. So I freaking went to a 6 o'clock meeting, in the 6 o'clock in the morning meeting. I went to the grocery store. I did all my laundry. I cleaned my room. I did all this stuff. And then
You're like, I haven't done this in a month.
Yeah,
This is great.
or ever.
I just bought new underwear. That's all I did.
So I get all this stuff accomplished, man. And I get back to the house and it's like 10 a.m. and I was like, sick. Now what do I do? Like, I don't have.
I've got 18 more.
Yeah.
Video games.
Yeah. I had all this newfound energy and this zest for living. And, man. And so, like I said, I keep going to meetings and I keep trying to just do the next right thing.
How often do you go to meetings now? A week or a month or yearly, I guess?
Well, I usually try to go to like at least 3 a week.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
at
Wow.
least-
Literally texted him the other night. I'm like, you're probably in a meeting. Call me when you get out because I forgot to call you back.
And
And I was in a meeting.
Have you taken a step and sponsored anyone else?
I was just going to ask that. Good call.
Yes, I have. I have sponsored some men. Sponsoring men is tough because
It's 24/7, isn't
well,
it?
no, not at all.
Not at
Like,
all. Okay.
No. So basically what a sponsor does, a sponsor is someone who has been through the 12 steps out of the big book, and then you just help the new person like do the same thing. Like, that's it.
Yeah, but can they call you like any time of day?
Oh, yeah,
Is
yeah,
that what
well,
you mean by 24/7?
That's what I meant by 24/7.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant like I'm not like
Thanks.
baby.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
what
like
I meant.
babysitting anyone. But
No,
like,
but I mean, they
you know
can
what I
call
mean?
you anytime.
But yeah,
in
absolutely.
stress in 24/7.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If
But let
they're-
me guess.
Does that make you like?
But let me guess. These men that you're talking about, they're wrecks. Obviously, like you were when you.
Yeah,
when you put
yeah,
them-
totally.
And some of them just aren't ready to commit yet.
And did you sometimes go, Jesus Christ, it's Billy again?
Or
I
just even kind of just
I
put
can't
yourself
take
back
it.
at those shoes.
Because,
Almost
yeah,
like
I can
relive
see
it,
almost to
you
the
know?
point where it wouldn't be bad if you didn't want to do it because you're like, I don't want to relive this every time with somebody.
No, you know what?
I don't think you'd be like.
You want to help
No,
somebody with it.
No, because like,
But
If-
we're
if
to the
you-
point where you
if
just
you-
hear the same story over and over,
Well,
and it's
dude,
just
if you-
pounded on you.
Don't
if you have
sponsor anyone,
felt,
Mark.
Yeah.
if you have felt the way that I felt that first day I walked into Alcoholics Anonymous, you would do everything you can to help someone not feel like that if you can. And that's kind of how I look at it, right?
That's it.
And I have sponsored people, and you know,
Have you sponsored anybody that relapsed?
everyone I've sponsored has relapsed,
Ah, fuck.
and
Damn it.
that's
That's kind of where my question was going. The harder question for Logan here was that,
how are you dealing with that?
is that are they ready?
Do you
to
feel disappointed?
and
And
are they ready to commit? And it's not that they're unwilling to commit.
they're
but,
just not at the point where they can.
But relapse is huge with any addiction.
Mm-hmm.
If it, I assume, correct?
Well, it doesn't have to be, right? Like, I haven't relapsed, since the first day I walked in there.
Can you share?
But like when the first person I sponsored that relapse, that was like tough. I was still like, I think I was even under a year sober at that time, and I took it like kind of hard. Like, man, like I screwed up. Like I screwed this guy up. And I talked to these, my friends. They're my friends now who've got like long-term sobriety, and they, they taught me that, dude, I can't keep anyone sober and I can't get anyone drunk. Like I can only share with you my experience and what worked for me, and then it's up to you. Like it's up to you if you want to like do that work and you want to do the things that I did. I can't do it for you, right? I can just show you what I did, and then it's up to you. So I mean,
I guess going back to maybe what you were saying, because you've shared this with me about your fear of ever relapsing because of the statistic side of it.
Yeah, well, I just I don't really fear relapse anymore, because like the way I look at it.
I guess wasn't a fear thing. We were talking about how you don't even want to even take a drink. Like you don't even think about it anymore because
that was the crazy thing, because like I had talked about before, like I was always, if I wasn't drinking, I was always thinking about it, and I was always mapping it out and planning it out, and how am I going to get money?
And that's that going
like,
on,
dude. Since that day, honestly, like it doesn't ever cross my mind, Dude, your story is just amazing.
No, that is amazing, Logan. So in a way, you have kind of, with help from other people, kind of remapped
how you can
your
do
own thinking, your brain thoughts.
You can share that with other people without with thinking. I got it. I need more help. You did this basically on your own. You really did. You had a lot of friends. No. Okay, I said that completely wrong. Right. You came to the realization on it. That's what I meant.
He wanted it.
You had a ton of help.
Kind of led him.
Yeah,
right.
The only thing the only thing I maybe.
But you
give
did
myself
this.
Credit,
you did the work.
You did the work because he wanted it.
Is that I reached out for help.
Yeah.
Like I broke down, and I dropped the ego and dropped the pride and dropped all of the feelings, and just knew that like I have to change something, and I clearly don't know how to do that, and these people say that they do, so I'm just gonna believe them.
And where is current day Logan?
Oh man,
look, you got a huge smile. You got to see that? You got a huge smile.
Yeah, man, it is absolutely mind blowing to me sometimes. That this is how I live. It's really crazy.
You have a place to live,
dude. I bought a house,
last yeah. That's awesome, man.
Like until I got sober, I never even had my own place to live. Like I said, I was either couch surfing or renting a room from someone, or a 5-minute relationship with a girl, and I live with her now.
That's the best relationship, by the way. I'm kidding.
So when I got sober, I had a lot of firsts. Like obviously like first holidays and all that, and then I got my first apartment, and I lived by myself, which I used to always be so scared to be alone, because that's like when my head would be the loudest.
It's pretty cool, isn't it? Though,
dude, I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love it, and now it's like. Like I have a house now, so it's like kind of difficult to get me to leave my house. Like unless I have like plans.
That's called age, brother.
Yeah, it's like,
that's called age.
I don't really. I got everything I need at my house.
How cute is that? How cute is
I got everything I need.
It's comfy here.
Yeah,
and work.
I like the smell of it.
Yeah,
work.
So you got a regular. You're doing well at your job. You're doing well, obviously. If you bought it and everything's going. You obviously got a very very nice lady over here next to your left hand side over there. It was very
Shout
sweet.
Out Abby.
Yeah, Abby. Yeah, good job. But I mean, she's obviously a part of your life now.
Yeah. That was.
I mean, we want to definitely end this segment on a hurrah note.
I want to know what your top 3 favorite hobbies are now.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Instead of drinking.
Okay, that's cool.
That's a good question.
So, like I mentioned briefly before, is I do love to sing. So I still sing.
Awesome.
And I recently entered which I didn't even
American Idol.
know.
Pretty much is. It's like the Arizona American Idol.
No,
sounds
so
like.
I didn't know that this was even a thing, but apparently there is a karaoke contest like goes like all the way like, to the nation, like the national level.
That's not American Idol.
No,
Oh, that's karaoke
It's
bragging
karaoke,
rights.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
so like
Ultimate karaoke.
yeah, so I kind of stumbled upon that, and now like I went through like 2 rounds of it and like placed at like at the top of both of those rounds.
What's your song, brother?
The song that I sang Drake White's "Making Me Look Good Again."
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good tune. Okay.
That is a good tune. So I do still love singing, and I just like to note that like all karaoke places are in fucking bars, right? And I have zero issue with going to bars because that obsession
That's awesome, man.
to drink is just gone now.
Because you have
It's just gone.
2 more hobbies.
2 more hobbies.
Yeah,
What's
two
the
more
other 2 hobbies?
My other hobby it's a new hobby that the lovely Abby got me into, and friends that are, and you're gonna laugh because everyone's into this now, but pickleball.
You know what? Wait.
There's a whole pickleball
Listen.
court.
Me and
thing
PJ
in
took
Rocky
23rd out of 32
I was
teams
gonna
last
say,
weekend.
He's just
Dude.
mad.
Pickleball is super fun. First of
It
all.
is.
And like,
We all.
Do you have to run?
Not really. Not a lot.
not
There
really.
was a
I'm in.
pregnant lady.
You might strain a muscle right here. Or
Yeah,
something.
no.
That's about
Racquetball,
it, yeah.
kind of. Or
It's
no?
super fun, and
Ish.
so like I have like a bunch of friends that are all into pickleball, and they'd always ask me to come, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. And then I met Abby, and she was like, I play pickleball. Would you like to try? And I was like, yeah, totally.
Yes, I would.
I always
Oh
wanted to
my
try
god, I
Yeah,
love pickleball.
Oh,
I couldn't
man.
find anybody that wanted to
Meanwhile,
go
he's
with me.
googling all the
My
rules of
God.
pickleball and how you play.
Do you know the best pickleball player is in Arkansas?
No, I'm honest with her, and I said, yeah. I told her that what I just told you. I was like, a lot of people always ask me, and I always say no, but for some reason, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll play pickleball with you.
Pretty.
Yeah, it's because she's pretty.
But even if you were ugly, it's okay. It's still
But thank God
be
for our
fine, you know?
But thank God for
Yeah.
our eyes.
But
you're
thank
not.
God you are pretty,
Yeah.
so it's a good thing.
And then,
so.
like the third thing, man, is just it's gonna sound like maybe cliche, but it's just trying to keep doing all the things that I've done from the beginning to keep living the life that I live.
I
right?
knew we were going to end on a,
Right.
on it. Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
really that's great. I knew. I figured you would say something like that,
Yeah.
man. And that's, dude. It's just amazing. That was, dude. This is one of the longest interviews we've had, and I think everybody here has agreed that it was well worth it. I mean, you're bearing your soul to people, and I think that's
Yeah.
important that people got to hear that.
Well, I appreciate you
Yeah.
asking me to come on. And it was funny when Sam had texted me and mentioned it to me.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, and she said, like, only
It's
if
like, I
you're
don't know how you feel about
okay.
it, yeah.
She's like, only if you're okay with discussing it. And I was like,
Listen,
I don't know how
we
much time
bumped
you guys
Bobo
got.
the Magic Monkey. We bumped.
Well, I mean,
we bumped him
Yeah,
for
I mean,
you.
this is probably the most I've ever heard about. I've just gotten snippets. You
Yeah.
know?
Okay, so you're gonna stick around, right? Because
Yeah, totally.
we got a game that we're gonna play, but I don't
Yeah.
need the game. I gotta bring everybody up because that was such an intense
know,
story.
I
I don't know what to
know.
say, but Logan, I don't. That was. What you just said tonight is amazing. How you
Thank you,
bared
man.
everything, and I think that moved probably our 7 listeners.
San Diego Mike.
San Diego Mike, if
Mike,
you're
hey,
listening,
shout
shout out
out.
to you, brother. You
Next
know?
one, nudity. Send it in.
Nudity. You call me. We'll do that. But
We will host you on the air.
we're gonna be right back. And Logan, thank you. We're gonna be right
yeah,
back,
thanks
guys.
for having me, man.
We are back, and Logan, again, I want to just say, your story was kind of like both like inspirational and a tale of don't go that way. It almost had, you could almost write a book on that, and I mean, it sounds, you really could. I mean, you were really open, and I don't know what everybody else thinks, but seriously, man, thank you for sharing what you did, because I think that was pretty cool. So
Yeah, I
and I
appreciate that,
think people are gonna realize that, and our social media expert over there better be able to. Where's
gonna be
my
all over.
Where is my $8 that I'm paying you going?
Hey, can
I
you
don't-
please update the bio that still says that Andy's not on the show?
Yeah, I don't want to do that yet.
Just in case.
Because I wrote a pretty good bio on all the other stuff. You could just copy me.
Okay, so I wanted to stay along, and maybe this is going to show how low where I set the bar and all that stuff. But I
We
wanted,
already
since
know.
we were talking about being going through rehab, stuff like that. I have detailed a list of people that have gone to rehab or have not gone to rehab. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a
That's
name.
the game we're playing?
That's the game we're playing.
Oh, my
okay?
gosh.
So I'm going to ask you guys. I'm going to give you guys a name.
This might not be fair.
You're going to tell me.
Did you study this already?
I love this game
If
already.
that person has gone to rehab or if he has not gone to or her gone to rehab.
What about if they
and
should?
what you think they went to rehab for if you think they went to rehab.
I just
Okay,
want
go
to.
for
And
it.
since you are our guests, okay,
Wait.
now this has, okay, what
I just
question?
want to let you know 2 things.
Oh, no.
One, how you kept saying "gone to rehab," it sounds like you
It's a
keep-
movie. Gone to rehab.
I know, but you make it sound like you're saying gonorrhea in a weird way.
Oh, that's funny.
Also,
Enunciate.
That's-
yes, thank you.
Okay.
And the other part
Enunciate
is,
is key.
what are the rules? Are you going around?
I'm going to start with our guests.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's me.
So I'm going to start with them. I'm going to give you a name.
Okay.
You're going to tell me if you think they went to rehab
Okay.
or if they did not go to rehab.
They're trying.
Okay.
If you think they went to rehab, you need to tell me what you think they went to rehab for and how many times.
Okay.
Oh my
All right.
gosh, that's a lot.
Shut up. Here we go. All right. You ready?
Who wrote this game?
Go for it.
Here we go. Megan Fox.
Yeah, she's pretty weird.
I know the answer.
I think definitely she went to rehab.
For what?
And she probably went to rehab. I would say for like pills or sex.
Okay. All right.
Oh no!
Megan Fox has never drank or done drugs. She's gone
What?
on record. She has never done either one.
Wow, good for
So
you.
she's just
She-
weird like
that
that.
is a shocker.
She has never done drugs or
That is
alcohol.
a shocker.
Dang.
He
So she's
actually
just a
has
weirdo.
Just
been
unique.
to rehab for severe body dysmorphia
That's
and
not.
anorexia.
That's not drinking, or you're missing the point. Okay,
It's
you're
rehab,
missing the point.
though.
Okay,
It's rehab.
quiet,
Oh,
you
yeah.
two. I say stop. All right,
wrote
Dave,
this
are
game?
you ready?
Obviously
Yes, sir.
him.
All right. Benjamin Franklin.
What?
Was one of the founding fathers and an incredible man. Was he ever to rehab?
Was he ever addicted that put him in a position?
I was going to say, did they have rehab?
Oh, I would say yes.
You are correct. Yes, he was addicted to opiates back in the day, and they treated him for it. So you have won one. Okay. Sam, you ready?
Yeah.
Ernest Hemingway.
Oh boy. He definitely should
No.
have been.
No, yes.
No. Which one is it?
No means yes. Yes.
Oh,
no. I'm
I'll
just
remember that the next date I have.
kidding. No.
No, you're wrong. He went to rehab 15 times.
Yeah, that guy. was a
Ernest
drinker.
Hemingway was in rehab
A lot
15
of mental
different
issues.
times. Mental,
Oh.
drinking,
Yeah,
everything.
that guy
so,
drank a shit.
all right.
Mental isn't drugs.
This
or
this was
drinking.
later called the Jerry Garcia program.
All right. Are you ready?
I don't even know who he is.
Good.
Ernest Hemingway, the writer.
Ernest Hemingway?
I know the name. I don't
Oh, my God.
boy.
That's
boy.
awful.
I gotta
And you're-
go.
yeah, like, look at the time. Oh my God! All right, are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
Charles, here we go. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Ooh, I know this one.
I would think yes.
Yes. What do you think? You are correct there. What do you think for?
I'll say alcohol.
Yes.
That's what I was
She's
saying.
been
And
sober a long time.
How many times do you think she went?
I'll say 3.
More than 3. I'm gonna get. Wow! Holy crap! That was good. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's been sober, I'm pretty sure, for like a real long time now.
Wow! Holy crap! All right, Andrew, you ready?
I'm here.
All right. Dane Cook.
Yes.
No.
Really?
He has not done drugs or alcohol. He has not. No.
Wow.
Dane Cook.
Dang, he's just so.
He's
I'm
just
happy
he,
weird
people.
he is just an awful comedian.
gosh.
Maybe
He's just
if
like
he
a
did
real
drink
bad at
and do
his
drugs,
job.
he might be better. All right.
He should be in rehab for being a terrible comedian.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Kendrick Lamar.
No.
You're right. He has not done. He does not do it. Yes. Okay. Dave.
Wait. He doesn't do anything, or he
Has
hasn't
not.
gone to
He has
rehab?
not. He has
Damn near killed himself, but no, he hasn't gone
he
yet.
has not. Okay. So, all right.
I didn't answer my question.
No, I don't think he's ever partook.
Dave.
That's what it sounded like.
Gene Simmons.
Absolutely not.
You're
Straight
right.
and narrow.
Yeah, I knew you know that he has never done
He's
drugs.
never
I knew
had
that
a
one.
drink and he's
Ever.
never done a drug.
Yes, he is not, and that's why Kiss, the most awful band in the world, is what they are, man. That's what they are.
No, that's
Okay.
because
Hey,
they became
no.
last.
Now, Gene Simmons has said that the worst thing he could ever do was dishonor his mother, and mothers are very important in the Jewish religion, and he would never let his mom down.
Correct.
So he has never touched anything.
I live under a
Although
rock.
Gene was on a podcast and he did say he accidentally had marijuana brownies.
I
Had
did not
sexual
have
relations
sexual
with
relations.
her.
In fairness, that could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't know that guy drugged me. I was young. I needed the money. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Paula Abdul.
Yes.
It was pretty public.
Okay. For what?
Everything.
Okay. How many times?
4.
1.
Oh.
But 2 out of 3, that's pretty damn good. I'll give you that. Yes,
Well,
Paula
I'm gonna say-
Abdul.
I live under
was-
a rock because Gene Simmons, you know who I thought it was?
live
I
in
thought it was the
Iraq.
exercise guy.
I rock
Richard.
Lobster.
My goodness.
Oh, you were thinking
What's
the
that
other
guy's name?
Richard Simmons.
Thank you.
Richard Simmons.
Oh,
Yes.
my
That guy's
goodness.
definitely-
I live under a rock.
No, we're talking about Gene Simmons with the big tongue from
Put it
Kiss.
together
All right.
after you guys were talking.
Charles, are you ready?
I
We only
caught
got a
up.
few more here. Are you ready? Okay.
Rock and roll.
All right. Frankie Munoz.
Can you say his last name again?
Muniz, whatever the hell it is. Munoz, whatever.
The kid lives in the
Munoz.
valley, right?
Malcolm in the middle, right?
Malcolm in the middle.
And he lives here, right?
I don't know.
I
I
think
don't
he-
know that much about
He
Frank.
might. He's a racer, and he likes to race cars.
I would say no.
You're correct. Never. Yes. So far he's winning. Okay, a few more, and that's
You're
it. We're
giving him
done.
all the easy
Well,
ones.
I didn't think it was that easy. Okay.
Frankie Munoz, an easy one.
Stephen King.
No,
Yes.
for alcohol.
Are you
He
kidding
put
me?
Everything. Everything.
Stephen
He
King.
put
Stephen King,
Mushrooms.
I-
He said everything.
a great creative mind, but he's a junkie.
Yeah.
Why do you think he's so creative?
Okay, so we're gonna go
Ah,
around a
there
couple more
you go.
times, and then we're gonna have our closing statements.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, sweet.
Sigmund Freud.
No.
Sigmund Freud had a cocaine issue, and he was in more than once. They said.
I'm
They
actually.
had, they had rehabs back then?
I guess so. Sigmund
Yeah,
Freud
that's.
That's why I said
he
no,
had
no.
help. So
I'm
I
a-
don't know what
Okay.
he had help.
I didn't think there was
I'm a Logan
rehab
on that one. I'm
back-
surprised.
I don't think they had rehabs back in those days.
Well, didn't you
Okay,
have Ben
Dave, you ready?
Franklin?
Neither did
Yes, sir.
Ben Franklin.
Right. There was no like
Either,
rehabs
yeah.
back in those days.
Blake Lively.
No.
You're right. Shit, you're absolutely right. She has never done drugs or alcohol. So Blake Lively. Okay, we're moving around. Sam, you ready for your last one?
Yes.
Andre Agassi.
No.
Yes. Alcohol.
Is that the tennis player?
No, it was
Yes.
crystal meth.
What?
Andre Agassi went more than twice for crystal meth.
Wow.
Yeah.
The
He's a
hell
tennis
is
player,
he
yeah?
doing?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm
Taking
shocked.
meth.
Now, do you know that his hair is a wig?
That's meth.
Yeah.
Yes.
he's-
So-
Yes.
I can tell.
And you don't think he did crystal meth? I mean, geez, come on,
Oh.
guys. Dear God.
He has
okay,
as
come
much
on.
hair as you do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's methed up.
Yeah.
Ah.
That's great. Good job. All right.
Good job.
Charles.
Way to go, big guy.
Yeah, totally.
Way to go, big guy.
Charles,
You're
you ready?
welcome.
Ready.
50 Cent.
Just chill.
Shut up over there. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, you took our point. Boo. Yes, he is. He's never been there. All right.
I
fine,
was right.
okay. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah,
Last one.
here for it.
You sure you are?
Ah, trying to be.
Tim McGraw. Yes, you're right. Multiple times for
Yeah.
what?
Alcohol.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's it.
totally.
Alcohol. Yes, indeed.
I want you guys to know that.
And you know what?
Wait, I want you to know that when I first moved back to Arizona, I went to Boots at the Park, and that was when he was in Tempe and fell off the stage for being drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Were you at that show?
No, I was not at that show.
That was
At least I don't think I
there.
was.
I want to
Doesn't
say I have
remember.
you on video. We were at that show, mister.
Dude,
No.
you would be surprised how many times I had to have someone show me a video. I'm like, you were there. I'm like, oh, I guess looks like I was.
Yeah, and I had to
That's
take it
me,
to a
all
lower
right.
since we were talking about rehab. I had to have a game about rehab and make
Yeah.
sure that it made it fun. But God, this was I will say this is probably our longest show. I don't think it was in any way boring, but this was fantastic.
We're
I mean,
fantastic.
yeah, so let's go around. Last word. What did you learn from tonight, Miss Andrea?
Drugs are bad, kids.
Yeah, drugs. That's how you're gonna end it.
Well, drugs are bad, but greater
Alcohol
beings-
is good.
No.
Little people are great.
Little people are
Little-
great.
Little people are great. No, but the greater being and the power of the mind and will, or however you want to grace it, is better, and I think that's awesome.
Nice, Charles.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. Just Logan, thanks so much for sharing your story.
Thanks, man.
Just amazing how you changed your mindset to be able to overcome the addiction. So just congratulations and
That's awesome.
keep rocking and rolling.
Thanks,
Awesome.
man. I'll do
And
my best.
Miss Sam, how you want to end the night?
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Worked your ass off.
Sam saw me like
Literally that May, I think.
yeah,
I was terrified.
A complete
Yeah.
mess.
You,
yeah.
I was one of those people you scared.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm
I
glad.
scared a few people
Dave?
apparently.
Dave, what'd you learn tonight, if anything? I can't mix my alcohol.
Dang, nabbit.
Damn it, Bobby.
No more Irish car bombs. Just that kind of when Logan was going through hell, and I think it's true with all addiction, is that everybody has to make that personal decision that they're going to stop. And so, but it's going to take help. You have to ask for help.
Okay.
And it's not a crime to ask for help. It's so hard, right, to ask for help, right, Logan?
Yeah, 100%.
It's hard to ask for help, but it's the right
Dave's
thi-
reaching out right now.
I know.
Dave is reaching out.
but it's the right thing to do. You have to ask for help.
I'm Mark, and I'm an alcoholic. Dude, yeah. And Logan,
yeah, man.
end it. Well, not really. I'm going to end it, but what if anything? Did you say it's something tonight that you didn't think you'd say, or?
No, man. Like when we talked before we went on air, and you're like, hey, if there's anything, if a question you don't like, you can say, eh. And I said it then, and I was real serious about it. Like, I don't think there's anything that you can ask me that I wouldn't be open about because, before I got sober, there was a lot of shit that I didn't want anyone to know because those are like the worst things about me, right? And I've learned through going through the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous and going to meetings and all that in fact, my experiences, no matter how awful they were, are my greatest asset today, to where I can help like relate to somebody that's new, that's struggling also. And I can let them know, just like those men let me know, hey man, I've been just like you before. Right. And I don't do that anymore. Like I live a different way of life now, and I can show you how I did that. And then, it's up to you. I just want to say thanks for having me on, man. This was a really cool experience. And it was kind of funny how it like worked out. It was like right before,
There's probably I don't know what I believe in higher forces, but
Yeah.
maybe there was something that was
There's
supposed
something-
to
there's something
supposed
going
to
on.
happen.
And what's another really funny thing, is, when I told that part, my first meeting, I was shaking and that guy grabbed my hand, right? That guy has like 38 years sober, 39 years sober, something like that. And, I don't know, I was about like a year and a half sober. He moved away. And on Thursday, he texted me. I was like, hey man, I'm going to be at the meeting on Saturday at noon. It'd be cool to see you. So I just went to the noon meeting on today, and he was there, that same guy. And I was like, that's so weird that you just happened to show up right around like my sober anniversary. Right. And then to be on your guys' show on that same day, it's just,
That's
man,
awesome.
there's been,
that's a
Brought
story.
him.
Yeah, that's a story you could tell
dude,
somebody, man.
There's
I
a
think
lot
so.
of,
similarities of.
Feels kind of cosmic in a way, doesn't it? Like
totally, dude.
the forces are aligning.
Yeah, and I've experienced a lot of those kind of things like ever since I got sober. When I fully just surrendered to the fact that I am a real alcoholic, that there's not going to ever be a time or a situation or a scenario where I'm going to be able to drink safely again. Like, because I don't have an off switch. Like if I put alcohol in my body, There's no off switch. Like, if I'm going to drink one, I'm going to drink fucking all of them.
Right.
Like,
If one is good, 20 is better.
Yeah. And then the next thing you know, someone's saying, do you want to bump? And I'm like, yes, 100%. And then I'm standing, in the store at 7 a.m, getting another 30 rack because we're out of beer and we're throwing in for another 8 ball. And, and it's just, it's an awful existence, man. And I really didn't think that there was a way out. So if anyone out there is struggling, just know that there is.
Well, that's what I want.
solution.
I want you to promote AA. I want you to kind of promote what you got to promote, or what I want you to. I mean, what hell? I want you to do that.
We have some real strict guidelines about promotion, so we don't promote.
Okay. What about talking to people right now, heart to heart, if they need some help and where they could go?
Well, heart to heart, man. If you're struggling, and you find that you can't stop drinking if you want to, when you think you want to not drink and you can't not drink, just know that there is a solution and there are people that can help you, and you just got to seek that help out, man, whether you find it online or find it in therapy.
And I know that's stupid, but call us. Just call us, or anything with us.
Well,
reach out.
if Logan, for personal reasons, is afraid to say it, I mean, all you have to do is Google it. There is an AA meeting near you, a lot closer than you probably think.
That's
all the
Multiple
time.
times, all times of the day.
Yeah.
All the time. It's amazing when you really look it up.
Yeah, there's probably 2,000 meetings a day here in Phoenix, all day long.
Needed. I mean, and
starting
they're obviously you're proof of success, and you're. For as many maybe negative stories there are out there and everything else, you're an uplifting story that has proved that it's worked and everything else, and that's kind of where I want to go. You've proven that you've been able to. I want you to know that everybody here, if you ever needed anything in the future, we would all drop what we're probably doing to help you in any way. So I don't want you to ever think that you couldn't reach out to anybody in this in this area right now. We would stop what we're doing to help you.
Yeah.
And if I had known, I know we weren't the greatest of friends, but if I had known you were going through any of that stuff, I think we all probably would have stepped up and said, "Hey, brother, let's talk or do something." But for you to be able to, my last word is basically for you to be able to do it with you went mind over matter, man. You really did. I mean, I know you had a lot of help, but you did something that a lot of people can't do. And out of 10 people that try, 80 are probably failing, and you have succeeded. And to us, or to me, it's an inspiration to kind of look at that and say, hey, man, that's what you just did is freaking awesome. And listen, we're trying to have fun on this show, but we also want to have serious issues, and we want to talk about that. Yeah. And tonight you brought that up. And last week we had a stripper, for God's sake.
That's true.
That's a serious issue.
Yeah, and that's a serious issue.
But we know where she gets her shoes.
If you don't have $20, you ain't freaking getting it.
Yes.
But seriously, I learned that last week. But we just want you to know that you're not alone, and you don't ever think you either, even if you guys don't work out. Listen, we're all good people here, and we want you to know that we love you, and we hope things work out, brother.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate that, and I just want to make it real clear because I know you guys have said it a few times, and other people who aren't alcoholic and all that, like, and say, oh man, you must have like such strong willpower and all that, and you like mind over matter and all that. That is not the case. If I had strong willpower, I would have just stopped. But I couldn't just
But
stop.
You did.
I didn't, though.
I don't know if you give yourself credit. You did.
No.
You did stop, brother. You did stop.
But let him finish the thought.
Okay.
Yeah. There's I kind of liken it to like someone who goes to the gym all the time, right? You start at the gym and because you're not feeling good about yourself, your body or whatever, and you start going to the gym and you start eating right and you get real healthy and you get real fit and you're feeling good and all that. If you stop going to the gym and you stop eating healthy, do you think you're going to stay in that shape? Probably not. Right. And so when I got to the rooms, I'm spiritually bankrupt. I'm emotionally bankrupt. I'm, financially bankrupt. I'm just an absolute mess of a person. So I started doing all these things to start getting healthy in all those areas. So now, in order for me to stay healthy and to continue to grow and get better, I have to keep doing those same things. So like I still go to meetings. I still, try to work the steps in like the best of my ability and to try to like the real thing is like putting this stuff into action in real life. And I talk about it a lot in meetings that, you know, it's easy for someone to come in and just sit and just like regurgitate stuff that they've heard or stuff that they've read or whatever. But like the real, you know, the rubber meets the road, man, is when you're out there in the real world, putting this thing into action. And then of course, like the biggest thing is, once you have found some serenity and some peace, is helping the next person, man, because there were people there that helped me.
Well, it's great about you want to obviously push it forward, but it also sounds like to me it's like that you are trying to every day still make good decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But now,
versus not
Logan,
good
you realize you got 8 new people that are on your side, dude, and we'll whatever struggle you're going through, we're going to try to help. As I smoke and drink in front of you. That's probably not. Maybe I'm lower on your list. But you got to know right now that you got 8 people here that will do whatever you need, and we appreciate you coming on. And thank you so much. And guys, I gotta play it. Everybody, you guys were fantastic tonight. This was actually a really great night. The longest show ever, dude.
Oh boy.
You guys rock, everybody. Love you. Good night.